Welcome to the SRC4u Zoom call for June 7th, 2021. To access Cathy's Zoom call, we're going to scroll down from her website, look for the SRC4u Zoom call banner, and we're going to click where it says to click here. Now this is a demonstration of the SRC4u software. It's purely for entertainment purposes. If you would like to be part of the client group, there's the banner right here where you can click and fill out the information. It's a $27 a month fee to be part of the group. We're going to go back to the front page. Scroll down the Zoom banner, and I'm going to click here, and that's going to take us to the Zoom platform where it should allow us to come right into the room. We're going to join with computer audio, and we're live.
We were going to move on in. We've been doing work on the thymus and the voltage, and I was going, can you all see me this way? I'm actually sitting in my bed.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm playing around with listening to some subliminal tapes at night on the computer, and I've got my Q3 and I've got a selenite bracelet, and I thought, this is kind of comfortable in here. This is my second computer, but we were going to go moving in reference to voltage, move on into the liver, but I think we're going to start first with the back, because the spine is our switchboard, and it's a lot of information. We're going to take it a little at a time, but let me show you what we've got so far. And I did check. We do not want, or need, I should say, the voltage or the thymus cocktail today, which is the whole goal of this. We are doing it ourselves. We don't want to be codependent on a person, place, or thing. I went in and I checked, did we need the thymus cocktails? Nope. Did we need the voltage cocktails? Nope. So looking here at back, it's been very interesting, and this is going to be ongoing because we're actually going down each vertebrae. And here are some of the things. Here are some of the things tied into the various vertebrae, and I did put just an example of one in here as we go from yesterday, but the back pain, afraid of responsibility, betrayal. Remember, these physical things, if they are started by thought patterns, this doesn't hurt any of us to clear this type of thing because no telling what's involved. This one, for example, from yesterday, closing of the heart, that was T2, someone I was working on. Communication, conflict, despair, family dysfunction. Again, this person yesterday, this was a T2. Now, interestingly enough, in Yuri Bennett's book, he calls these the T's. But in the encyclopedia, he refers to this would be T. So you may, if you're looking for codes, you probably have to ask for vertebrae D, this or that, instead of the T. Fear of abandonment. Now that's going to be today. I scanned us ahead of time, and we got a 0 on D9. And so fear of abandonment is one, stress related to that. Fear of failure. Pardon?
T9?
Yes. Or D, as in dog, is actually how it's in the computer. And I was kind of surprised. I've been working on this with various people and testing these different vertebrae, and I would have thought it would have been the neck, but these B's are really coming up a lot. It's the opposite of what I would have expected. Fear of rejection. In reference to this, and remember, this is the whole group, not just those of us on this call, but it appears that when you've got stress related to D9, you're basically just afraid of making a mistake. You're afraid that if you make a decision and it's wrong, you'll be abandoned, you'll be rejected. Now here again, and this is interesting, the person yesterday was being oppressed, and T2, that was what that was about. That was her 0. Feel safer when withdrawn. Feel smothered. This is another one. I know this person was going through frustration. I was really surprised there was a code for this one, but there was. Hide in glass bubble, not having to ask myself any questions or make any changes in my life, and that's a D9. So we're working on that today. And then I just put this statement in here. There is not a code for it at this point, but in letting go, I have mastery over my life. And I learned that years ago, of all things, from my real estate broker. He who cares least wins. It sounds kind of callous. Sometimes maybe we do just have to let go. Insecurity, and there is a code to let go. Mood swings, that's a T2. Stress, remember the vertebrae is our switchboard, our spine rather. Gain, pride, protection, rigid attitude, self-deprecation, sensible, and then I, of course, got sore back, stiffness, and here is your key right here. Anything in reference to the back, you don't feel supported. That's the key. Uncertainty, upper back, vertebrae, D9. This is going to keep going, this list, because there's quite a bit of information on the vertebrae. But then finally, this is another one in reference to D9 or T9, whichever one you want to call it, is victimhood. So let's go ahead and scan and see where we are. This will end up, I think, at some point as a cocktail. But right now, we're just getting information. And you know that the software is going to fill in whatever we need. Our field generator from last night. And we'll double check it today. We're still going on it. We wanted coronavirus informations. So we'll check to see if we need to do anything in reference to immunity, etc. But we wanted like 21 hours of that. All right, so as we look in here, we see betrayal. I don't know if this bed thing will work that well when it comes to this kind of thing. Let's see. Let's just see. Now remember, the code is a healing code, so therefore the code is a good thing. We got a little stress related to that. So what you could do, if you have these Pro Tools, is just go in here before you even start a session and put auto. And then if any of these things come up that the Shen or a charger doesn't want to balance, then go ahead and pick one of those tools as well. And both of these, the Shen and the charger, are powerful. And in this case, we're going to want to go to the Pro Tools to do a little more clearing. Let's just go, okay, here's conflict. That's a 0. And a little stress there. This is not comfortable. So we can do a charge here. And so it looks like any kind of backache, which is rampant, it's really just our body trying to give us a message, just like any other situation.
Oh shit, I lost my video.
Oh.
Or audio. I lost everything.
Can you hear anything now?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. It's my monitor. It's not
Oh boy.
anything you did. Sorry.
Oh dear.
I guess I'm going to have to get out.
Okay.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I can't
That's
see it.
strange.
Yeah.
This one is a common theme with back problems, and it's family dysfunction. Oops. Up there.
Here I am.
Oh, good. Okay.
It came back by itself. Sorry.
Yay. All right. So anyway, here we are, another common theme with any vertebrae, and that's the family, things going on in the family. That makes sense. Again, you can see that we're going to balance that out pretty well. Now, you don't have to go all the way up to 1,000. It looks like under, 300 under, that's our priority. But what the heck, let's go ahead. This is feeling smothered.
I thought
Maybe
you
the
said it was
people
down
in
to
your
zero.
life are just, pardon?
I thought you said if it was down to, if it was down to zero, then we do it.
The zero, Grandmaster says 0 up to 300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I myself have done up to 1,000. I may keep doing that when it's something like this. That philosophy, what does it hurt? But up to 300 is supposedly the target.
That's good.
Here's right attitude.
I wish they were bigger.
Well, let's just get in here. Where's our little...
I don't know if you can make it any bigger or not. It's
Why can't you? Fucking idiot.
really small for me.
You. All right, now how do I do this? Zoom. Well, in this case, it looks like I've already... Well, let's put it in a 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Rigid attitude. Yeah, that's rigid attitude. Oops. Copy it. So I think you're getting the idea that a person with a lot of back pain could have had some significant, trauma and abuse. Mm-hmm. That might be the way it manifests, which is really just a message. Here's stiffness. Let's just go ahead. Even it's still under 1,000. So let's do it. Again, we've got showing it's just acute at this moment in time. Okay, so that's our list so far, but that list will be growing. So let's take that off. And then we have a huge list of Gongs. And it's such a large list that I don't see any way we can just we'll have to scan it, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not as long as I thought. I thought while I was making it, it was pretty long.
Did you send us a list of numbers?
I will, but let me get it finished with all the vertebrae.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
I keep finding more and more of your stuff on my computer.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm losing. I mean, why it's buried. I thought it would come up in my email list, but
I lose emails all the time. People mention things. I was just going through this morning and found a bunch more from Dr. Kersey that are valuable. So
I don't know what's
I
going on.
think we're overwhelmed with emails, and sometimes our computer steps in and tries to help us.
I'm gonna look deeper into that too, because I'm sure there's probably a lot more in there that I don't even know about. Maybe it's ending up in my spam.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah. So here's some of the stressors at this moment in time, and we're going to go also to the top numbers, but refuse to give in. So in other words, there could be an issue that a person refuses to look at and refuses to ever change an attitude on, and that could actually cause some stress in a vertebrae. The two that come to mind on the top, for me anyway, would be religion and politics. Just things you believe, and you're not going to look at anything that is contrary to what you believe.
Right. You got a good point there.
And we all have a little of that because we're so programmed.
I know a lot of people like that too.
Yep. Now this is interesting because there could be some stress, especially when you've got upper back, some stress related to cardiac. So let's go ahead and see where we are with that. Yeah, it's not a high number, but it did come up, so let's go ahead and be proactive. Okay, this is interesting. Push back everything I don't want to see or want others to see, and supposedly related to back problems. Yeah, I think we all have a little of, so let's just. And then domineering. And as I said, this thing can flat hurt your feelings sometimes, but we may all have a little of that in us, especially when it comes to our own opinions.
Yeah.
And the room is quiet.
No, I said yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the very other extreme, the burden is too heavy, whether it be a hectic schedule or, a crisis going on in the family, it's just too much. Let's see the amount of negativity at this moment in time. Okay, let's just take that down. A reaction against authority. And that can be authority on any level. It might be a spouse. It's hard to say. It doesn't necessarily have to be what we think of in terms of a governmental. where we are with that. Okay, again, that's a significant at this moment in time. And the truth is that we're sovereign beings. And this authority thing might be something. Here's another: deeply hurt at some point in life.
Wow.
And again, there is really no negative. We're just learning. We're in a school called Earth. Okay, so if we just, I'm not going to quite start that yet, because let's see what comes up now. Okay, so we want to preserve the theme today. See what it is. While we're waiting, let's see what Pro Tools. Quite a few.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So for sure, we can go into the timeline. For starters, its timeline is, for me anyway, underused. I'm starting to use it more. Let's just take the timeline. And put betrayal in. And I'm not seeing a big number. We may be calibrating. Let's see. Okay, so our theme at this moment in time is extra chakras. Anybody have a lot of information on that for us?
There's supposed to be 12, right?
Yeah, there's supposedly, we have 8,
Minors.
and then 8.5, and 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep.
This one gal says that there's 44 chakras just in your throat.
I believe, yeah, I think that's probably it. We have hundreds of chakras, is what I think.
Main ones.
So how many do we have? 8?
Well, we know we have 12 that have been measured.
Yeah.
Yeah, before technology, a lot of that was talk, and it was more of an esoteric thing. But they can measure it now. And what Bruce Lipton says is that the chakras, which of course are vortexes of spinning energy, that's what lets the information from the matrix into the cells. And then the cell membrane, that's the brain of the cell. So you've got the receptors on the outside of the cells waiting for the information, but the spin has to be in order. So if we look, I don't know if we would have, let's just see what we have here. I can get up here.
Because I'm working with the chakras right now with a group on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I'm reading the book, and I, of course, got distracted. I need to finish it. But let's just see if we've got anything in here, just as a surface start, extra chakras. No. Let's look at chakra spin. Not at this point, although we don't need the codes.
What about major and minor chakras? Kathy, why don't you look for major and minor chakras?
Okay, hold on a second. You know, they add a lot of times, will add when they see our requests. So we'll have to, let's just put,
Oh yeah.
here we go, balance all chakras at this moment in time, since that's our theme. Sometimes in the list, pardon?
I'm learning more and more how to use the healing numbers now.
Yeah, it's interesting, and anytime you see a misspelled word in your list, that's me, because not misspelled in the healing codes, but sometimes when I type it in, I don't hit a key. But let's just see where we are with balance all chakras. Well, we're looking pretty good, aren't we? Well, at least the code is a good thing for us at this time. Let's go back in here. Let's go ahead also, because this will give us all a good idea of the level of stress.
Which one are we on now?
Which one? What?
In reference to the 4 or 5 that we got from the schedule.
Okay, wait a minute here. Let me get this in. Let's just go ahead and balance.
She's on the yes therapy run.
Yeah, I
know where it is now.
And so we're just going to go ahead and we'll see by how many times this needs to go back and forth. The amount of stress we have right now with that. So that's interesting that came up to be our theme with this work. And then also, how are y'all doing with the scheduler, and where do you want to go from here with the scheduler?
Oh, what scheduler?
I know it. Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Yeah, because I couldn't stay up late, I just kind of kept Cheryl running constantly.
That's right. That's right. And because you're optimizing connection, you can't give a person too much. So I have people, I pop in every day first thing. So do you want to continue? We've got Cheryl in. Shall we test it to see if we should continue with Cheryl or put Gwen back in, or is there a situation we should be working on?
I think it'd be good to test.
Okay.
How is Kelly doing, Sharon?
She's doing well. Yeah.
I was just going to ask that question.
Yeah, her little surgery went fine. They're waiting for the results of the biopsy, but she said it was good.
Good.
So thank you guys.
Right.
Very good. Very good.
I know she had a big team behind her, so that made me feel good.
That's good. Yeah, because that's pretty cool over the weekend, too.
Yeah.
Hey, we can continue the scheduler for Cheryl. You see that?
Wow, she's benefiting.
Yeah.
She's super grateful.
Oh, we're happy that her unconscious is working with us.
I sent a picture of her to you, and I sent it to the wrong address, like I put a D in your name or something.
Okay.
And it kept bouncing back. I tried again. I just thought people would like to know who she is.
Yeah, well, we could also, if you can email me that picture, we can always put pictures in our load image box.
Oh, yeah, I emailed it yesterday, and you should have gotten it at CathyDSlaght@live.com, but if you didn't, let me know.
Okay, I'll look again. Thank you.
I'd like to have it, too.
Okay. Well, it was for her to show everybody. I wasn't sure how she was going to do it.
But even in your prayers, if you would keep Gwen in your prayers.
Definitely. Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Right.
You're in perfect health.
Anybody that wants to work on Gwen on their own, she would certainly be grateful, and to keep your prayers going for Gwen. Oh, wait a minute. I left my mouse at Gwen's house, so we're not going to right-click the image today. But anyway, I will as soon as I have my mouse. We're going to go into the Pro Tools and do an image in reference to conflicts, as well. And then we're also wanting the mediator. There's our aura scanner, so we were giving ourselves a message. Let's quickly do it. Let me show you also, we are still running. We can go ahead and stop it now. Let me see if I can find it without giving everybody's information away. I always have a bunch of these prayer warriors going. Okay, this is from sometime over the weekend we were going. Let's see if we're done. No, we're going to take another 13 hours. There are our affirmations we had over the weekend. I picture abundance for myself and others, and all money I spend enriches society and comes back multiplied. Let's just go ahead. We've had that always on, but let it finish up now.
I've got a question on the prayer warrior.
Yeah.
You just, or any of the programs, you just keep running it till it's less and less time?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I have 4 up. Because, for example, now there we go. Whatever that was, we cleared. And we've got this. We're still going. And we could, just keep it real simple and just put back and hit it. Let's see what we got in here for a cocktail. How about activate all chakras? And this one on mine, it hasn't been, the auto time hasn't been working, but it ends at 11 hours, and so I just have been doing that. I need to talk to Kevin about it. But you can do with your prayer warrior, for example, I've been running Israel nonstop. Wow. And you can just kind of follow how you're led and do. So, anything else?
Oh, that's a lot.
I want to tell you one thing, and I don't know much about it, but you might want to Google it. I ran into a product over the weekend, Spanish moss. Have any of you ever heard of it?
Spanish or Irish?
I don't mean Spanish moss. Sea moss.
Heard of it.
Spanish moss.
Sea moss. I was at a little tent show downtown St. Pete, and the reason I went to that booth is Jerry Tennant, in his voltage book, says that plankton is one of the foods that absolutely has everything in it we need.
Could you send us a link to that if you haven't already?
Yeah, please.
What will happen is I only have the lady's phone number. I didn't want to call her on a Sunday. I'm going to call her today and get her website, and I sure will.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I looked is because of the plankton. But this sea moss seems to have, it's very loaded with minerals, and in particular for the thyroid. So as soon as I talk to her and get a link, I'll send it out.
Great.
Yeah, send it to me too. I like that.
Yeah, and it doesn't taste bad. It tastes, it kind of comes in a gel form. But anyway, that's it, I guess, for today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Cathy, thank you.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call for June 7th, 2021. Thank you for attending. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.